Hi, my name is Carmen, and I am an early childhood special education teacher, a life and ADHD coach, and I'm the host of this podcast, Authentically ADHD. I created this podcast to help anyone wondering if they have ADHD, people who have been diagnosed for a while and want some more support and community. I'm here to bring you the latest research on ADHD and neurodiversities while we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of ADHD. Are you ready? Let's get started. Hi, my friend, and welcome back to Authentically ADHD. I'm Carmen, your host, and today we have a topic that is very much as you say, hot take in the ADHD community. And it is routines, revamping them, why are they hard, why we tend to have pitfalls, and ways to make routines more interesting, more fun, and easier to create and implement. Now, we all have different thoughts about routines. If you're not a fan of the word routine, throw it out the window right now and call it something else. My coach calls her morning routine her don't die list, okay? So use that creative brain of yours and call it what you want. You have that choice as an autonomous adult. Okay, let's dive in. Living with ADHD means navigating in a world that wasn't really built for us. It's a neurotypical world expecting us to follow routines that don't always fit our unique neurology. On the other hand, routines are incredibly helpful in starting off our days on the right foot. It's worth the energy because the rest of your day will flow a lot easier. Ask me how I know. You'll be able to manage your emotions and regulate and manage your ADHD symptoms overall, especially when you include food, water, hygiene, sleep, movement, and connection into your routines. Now, it's challenging for us ADHDers for many, many reasons. These reasons include, but are not limited to, difficulty with executive functioning. ADHD affects our frontal cortex and it affects the executive functions like planning, organizing, time management, emotional regulations. These functions are crucial for creating and sticking to routines. I mean, come on, if you think about it, almost every single executive function is involved with creating and maintaining routines. Another reason it's hard is we as ADHDers are very impulsive. It makes it very hard to follow a structured routine or stick to planned activities because, something shiny popped up and we got distracted. 3, time perception issues. People with ADHD do not develop the sense of passing time, so we struggle with estimating time accurately, leading to difficulties in allocating times for different tasks within a routine. We often forget to include drive time and transition time, and that's what makes us late, usually a lot. Then there are sensory sensitivities. Some individuals with ADHD have sensory sensitivities that can disrupt routines, such as being sensitive to certain sounds or textures. Say you're on a walk and there's a certain sound going on that is just driving you insane, or the outfit that you put on for that day is a texture that is making you feel so itchy you have to turn around and change. Another one is interest and motivation. Routine tasks may not be inherently stimulating or interesting. They're actually just the opposite. They're very repetitive and it makes it a little bit boring, making it harder for individuals to maintain focus and motivation. Boredom is our kryptonite, okay? So being interested and motivated to do the routine needs to also be there. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We also have this flexibility versus rigidity thing, because while routines provide structure for us, ADHD individuals may find it hard to balance following a routine with being flexible enough to adapt to the unexpected changes that happen, like just life, things that pop up that are just life. Then there's the working memory challenges. Challenges in working memory can make it really difficult to remember and execute the steps of a routine consistently. We're going to talk about solutions to all of these, but the last one I want to talk about is maintaining consistency. I hate the word consistency, and you probably do too if you have ADHD. The word that I like to use is persistent. If we can follow routines persistently, it's great. Consistency refers to doing the same thing every day and making sure you follow through and blah, blah, blah. Persistency is, I'm going to try my hardest, and if I fail, it's okay. I can get back up tomorrow and try again. So we can accept this reality. Mornings can be chaos for us, whether you work in or out of the home, whether you have kids or don't. The struggle to get up, meet our needs, stay focused, and remember all the steps to get out the door can feel incredibly overwhelming. So why does this happen? It's because we're putting too much pressure on ourselves to have the quote-unquote perfect morning routine. And the truth is, that doesn't exist. So let's try to make a good routine that fits your needs and lifestyle. One of the big paradoxes of ADHD is that while we crave novelty, structure, and newness and fun, structure is what keeps us together. We actually thrive in structure. The question is then, how do we create a balance between that spontaneity and structure in our routines? There are a few things that you can do to create this balance. You can create novelty by switching up the routine, add music, a podcast, a TV show, or an audiobook, or even just use that time for intentional quiet and solitude. Again, do what works for you in your routines, okay? That's the biggest part. Okay, so we talked about why it's hard. We talked about the difficulties connected to our ADHD, to our own perceptions, and the difficulties of boredom and how we can, fix that. Now let's get practical. Can you think of ways or effective strategies that will help you revamp your morning routine to better suit you and your needs? While I'm giving you these tips, please take into consideration that you want to make this routine at the lowest barrier of entry at first. So please don't try everything at once. Make it easy to do. Make it so easy to do that it basically just flows and it doesn't make sense for you not to do it. Just make it that easy. Where do you go first thing in the morning? Put the thing that you want to do first thing in the morning, put that out, put it right there so that you can jump right in. So let's jump into these tips. So the first one is simplify the routine. If you have a really detailed routine that is, it takes a few hours to complete or whatever it is, please break down that routine into smaller, more manageable steps. And focus on the essentials, okay? Focus on those basic needs, okay? Make sure you are including food, water, hygiene, sleep, movement, and connection, all right? Put up visual reminders. This will help your working memory. Use checklists, visual schedules, alarms, fun timers, and use those to stay on track. There's even videos on YouTube that are Pomodoro lo-fi music, so it helps you stay focused, and there's little alarms in there to let you know how much time has passed. I do this thing where I set a timer for a certain amount of time so that I know how much time just passed. Prepare the night before. This is something that I do a lot of. Lay out your clothes, pack up your bags, prepare breakfast and the next day's lunch to reduce the number of tasks in the morning. The less we have to do to get ready to leave makes it a lower barrier of entry. okay? It makes it easiest barrier of entry. If you already have your clothes picked out, that takes out the decision making. Your bags are packed, that takes out looking for things. Make sure you have that launch pad ready to go with your keys, ID, whatever it is that you need to leave the house. Create a stimulating environment. Use bright lights, sun lamps, upbeat music, or other stimulating elements to help wake up and stay focused. I noticed this hack last year while getting ready for school. I get up pretty early, so getting up is hard. Waking up is hard. So I do have 3 sun lamps that shine on me. And if I dance to 2 or 3 upbeat songs, I am like almost immediately awake. And then I incorporate movement, which is another tip. Physically moving and physical activity in the morning can help increase alertness and focus. If you've listened to any other podcasts that I have, you probably know that physical activity is one of the number 1 ways to treat your ADHD. One of the best ways to do this is to get up and move first. So get up, do your physical movement, and then take your medication. It will help you incorporate movement, remember to take your meds, and your medicine will work better throughout the day. Use time management tools. Use timers, use apps. I use Sensama and Google Calendar to help me manage my time more effectively and stay on schedule and get my essentials done. Then use positive reinforcement. Build dopamine and incentives into your routine to motivate you to stick to the routine. Dopamine is what motivates us. So if you build it in, where you get little rewards throughout the routine, it will help you follow through with that routine so much better. I really hope this episode helped you understand why routines are so hard, how we can balance out the dislike for them by adding novelty, and gave you some actionable steps and places to start. As we wrap up, remember that your ADHD journey is unique to you. Experiment with these different ideas, embrace what works and drop what doesn't, and don't be afraid to tweak things along the way. Your mornings can become a source of calm and empowerment. Thank you for joining me today on Authentically ADHD. That's all I have for now, so until next time, stay authentic and we will talk soon. Speaking of extra supports, I just wanted to tell you all that I've updated my Patreon page to include all of the resources that I've really ever made to be held in one place. Just head to my show notes. The VIP members do get a little extra, but you can also purchase like my brand new Ultimate ADHD journal and planner, which I've been using for the past year that has worked. Nothing is priced over $10 and everything is at least 50 to 100 pages that you can download and print. You can get it binded and sent to you, or you can just read it off your screen and use notebook paper. So if you want or need any type of that kind of extra support, just head to my show notes and click the Patreon link to join. I hope to see you in there.